Hey, welcome back to the Living on Vashon podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Hendon, with Christine and Company over at eXp Realty. How you doing? Today, we're interviewing another great restaurateur on the island. Adam, who's the proprietor of PopPop Bottle Shop on the island. His wife, Christina, is his partner. She wasn't there when I went in for the interview, but she is delightful as well. I know Adam from CrossFit. He's delightful. And the restaurant itself is so cool. Okay. I dig it. It's a teriyaki chicken joint with a huge beer and wine selection, both on tap and to go. So, you go in, you can get your to-go order and pick up a 4-pack of craft brew, craft microbrew, local stuff on tap, kombucha on tap. Very limited menu. It's teriyaki chicken, some, wasabi, spam and rice. There's tofu dishes. There's 2 or 3 options. So it's not as full on dining experience, but it is what they do. They do just in an excellent manner. It's a great space, open, especially in the summer here when the garage door is open. It's just a very, very Vashon kind of thing. I just really do appreciate the work that they've done there. They put it in the old red bike, which was, I think, Bishop's at one time. I know it was Bishop's at one time. And it's just great. And Adam's a great interview. And if you're interested in Vashon, you need to know about PopPop Bottle Shop, because if nothing else, you get to say PopPop Bottle Shop, which is, let's go ahead and say it. See, it's fun, isn't it? PopPop Bottle Shop. It's a great name. All right. Anyway, enjoy the interview. Let me know if you have any questions about living on Vashon. That's what I'm here for. Aaron Hendon, Christine Company, eXp Realty, Birdie on Wayne. Let's check out Adam. First of all, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, of course.
I just love it. Well, tell me, first of all, how long have we been open? Is it a year? It's a full year
PopPop
now?
Bottle Shop has been open for 14 months. Yeah.
That's awesome. So you opened during the end of the pandemic?
At the very end, yeah. We kind of slid right in as all of the restrictions were closing down, and kind of made life easier on that front with no mask mandates or restrictions on how many people are allowed to be in certain spaces and things like that. So it was sort of almost a celebration of
the opening was a celebration of being open again.
Yeah.
And the build out from the transition from the red bike, from a bar to this. Tell me surprises, how much fun was that?
This space was it had been closed from pre-COVID. From November, I think they closed in November or December of
19.
Yeah, and then so the space had been just kind of left sitting for a long time, and we started the process of getting financing and buying the place in the fall of 20, and then finally got the keys in July of 21. And then it took about 9 months to just build out the space and do all that. We didn't do a ton structurally. It was more just a cleanup job. We kind of stripped everything down and put in new flooring and fresh white paint job, and got Sam's side all, the creamery side all cleaned up. And so, but it was a lot of work just redoing floors. The foundations were the original foundations from after the fire built I think they were put in place in the 30s, and at that time.
So you got down below this?
Yeah. We were down to the ground foundation level, and at that time they didn't insulate foundations, and the way that they poured a foundation were in these blocks. So they're about, I think they're like 10 by 12 blocks that go all the way back through, and so they were all different angles and everything, so we had to level them all out and do all that.
And that was on you or on the owner of the building?
Oh no, we did all of it.
You did all of it. And do you own the building now?
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yeah, my wife and I own the building. So yeah, but just a lot of elbow grease, really, and cleaning everything up and bringing a fresh concept to it.
Great.
And my wife Christina McFadden did all the design work. She's a commercial interior designer by training, no longer by trade, but she She used to work for an architecture firm that did commercial
Awesome.
architecture.
And then talk to me about where the vision came from and why teriyaki and on tap and the coolers. What's the whole?
I mean, I have a long history of working in the beverage industry in Seattle, working for Maria Hines, Tom Douglas, Elliott Bay Brewing Company, and just have a love for craft beer and wine. I'm a certified sommelier, and it's something coming from Seattle where we had neighborhood joints that just had the best craft beer available at all times, and kind of that being part of the social fabric of what we did on a regular basis. We have a fantastic brewery on Vashon, but the beers that we came to love in Seattle weren't available on Vashon because I have to go pick them up every week and bring the freshest product here. And I was willing to put in the work as part of the business plan. And I missed those beers, and I missed that sort of social atmosphere. So that was part of it. And then the teriyaki piece comes from a few angles. One, teriyaki is the comfort food of Seattle. It's our, Seattle teriyaki is to New York pizza, I guess. I think.
Well, I've never heard that.
Every neighborhood in Seattle has their teriyaki joint.
It's 100%.
And everybody who lives in Seattle has their spot that they say, oh, that's the best teriyaki, or that's my spot, or whatever. And, when I lived in Seattle, I had teriyaki once or twice a week because it's affordable, moderately nutritious, easy dinner or lunch or something like that. And so there's the piece of that we don't have a teriyaki joint on Vashon, and it's something that people, from the business end of things, it's something that people can get once a week. It's an affordable thing that it's not a huge expense to go out and get teriyaki for the family. It's approachable for everybody in the family. And then from the other side of the coin, from the operational side, is that it's easy to pull off. I think we wanted to have something that was quick to serve people, get it out of the kitchen quickly, and not have people standing around waiting for long periods of time. And then with the labor pool being what it is, it's hard to hire a bunch of people to pull off something. So we decided, from an operational standpoint of view, that we wanted to have a really tight menu, and something that we could do with minimal labor associated with it. So now it's easy. We grill a piece of chicken, we scoop some rice out of a rice cooker, and we've got a delicious product. So those are the twofold of that: is one, a desire to have teriyaki, and two, the operational aspect of its sort of practicality in that way.
And how have you found the income producing aspects? So people come for food, come for drink, half and half.
I would say, most days we have kind of, let's see, we have sort of 4 different arms of revenue stream. We've got food. We've got on-premise beer and wine consumption. We have an ever-rotating draft selection. We've got an ever-rotating glass pour selection of really cool, fun wines that aren't available elsewhere. And then we've got the retail wine and the retail beer element as well, which I would say most of the time it's about 60% food and then 40% beverage, kind of all put together. And what's cool about it is there are several different ways you can experience it. You can put in an online order for takeout and come in and grab a 4-pack of beer or a bottle of wine to take home with your food. Or I think my ideal is that somebody comes in to get takeout, sits down and has a beer while they wait, and then buys a 4-pack or a bottle of wine or something to take with them when their food's done. But it's also a really cool hangout spot. We have Vashon, as you know, has a sort of shortage of places to hang out and we offer a spot that people of all ages can hang out.
Right. And then the ice cream is couldn't be a better compliment.
This is a really cool sort of happenstance. We partnered with Glass Bottle Creamery. When we bought the building, we said, man, it's a 5,700 square foot building. It's way too big to use the entire space for our concept. So we'd always had the intent of having a tenant, and Samantha is a great friend of ours, and she'd been across the street in this small little retail stall, making ice cream in the bakery, in a very busy bakery, crowded and all that. And so she was like, I'd always wanted to have a space where I could make the ice cream, and also I've always wanted to have video games. So she went and traveled the country and put together all these like classic vintage video games, and now we have a spot where people of all ages can hang out, and I think it's a welcoming, open space for all that.
That's awesome. And then it wouldn't be complete without talking about your hours, because that's a real, just as someone who was in the business, hard to imagine you give up Sunday's revenue, but here you are, you're making it, loving it, and it's really working for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think, with our collective, my team and me and my family and my wife's collective experience in the industry, we had to set up boundaries around what we're willing and able to do. And family is first.
That's great.
And so everybody on our team has that. I think also it again calls back to the labor pool, though. In order to be open 7 days a week, you have to have more people to work for you. And, unfortunately, Vashon doesn't have a huge labor pool to pull from.
Yeah.
You see all the business owners have a struggle with that, especially in the service industry, in the retail industry. It's hard to afford to live on Vashon on that, but because of the way we're set up, we're able to pay a living wage to the people that work here, so that they can live on Vashon. All of my employees live on Vashon and work on Vashon.
And you have the same staff you opened with 14 months ago.
Yeah,
Right, which is that's like amazing. That's just a freak show. No one in food service has zero turnover in a year. You know that, right?
It's.
But that's I directly correlated to being closed, and so whatever revenue you lose, you make up in not having a trained staff.
Yeah, for sure. There's that piece, and then the other thing is something that we've been trying to work on. We did an event with you, and I think
you've done sit-down dinners.
Yeah,
right?
We've done sit-down dinners. I think with our experience, one of our cooks is worked for James Beard award-winning chefs, running their kitchens for them. One of our, Andrew, who runs our wine program, is a certified sommelier and run the best dining rooms in Seattle for Renee Erickson and Tom Douglas and Maria Hines. And we do have this itch that we like to scratch for doing sort of higher end stuff, and we have the capability to do it. And so being closed on those days affords us the flexibility to do that. And we've done a dinner with Dragon's Head and a wine dinner with Orcus Project, and we've done a fundraiser with you, and we've worked with a local farm to do a pop-up. We did our poke pop-up. And so hopefully, we'll find a groove in how all that works, but it affords us the opportunity, once a month, every other month, to maybe do something fun on one of those days. But yeah, there's missed revenue perhaps, but I think it contributes to a team that's ready to work. There's something nice on Saturday nights when we lock the door and nobody has to worry if their phone's going to ring on Sunday because somebody was sick, or and the fact of the matter is I'd have to hire just to be open for those 2 days. I'd have to hire 4 more people because everybody who works here is content and happy, and
So really interesting. I'm so glad that that's working for you. It's just fantastic. Any other really pleasant surprises out of being open the first year?
I think just the reception we've gotten from the community has been awesome. It's really become a place where people show up to hang out, and then they run into people that they know, and all of a sudden with these communal tables and the sort of vibe around here, everybody's
hanging out longer.
And there's just, it's a place where parents can bring their kids to come and hang out and run into other parents, where kids can run into other kids to hang out and spend time together. And that's it was the intended outcome, but
it's nice that it works out.
It's nice that intention led to that. So
it's great. Anything significantly harder than you expected? Anything like?
Not Not really. I mean, like, I've been doing this since I was 14 years old, so I'm accustomed to the workload, and I think our team is accustomed to the workload, and, you know, we've set up really good boundaries to make sure that everybody's happy. I mean, I've been, for 14 months, there's not a single day where I'm like, oh, I gotta go to PopPop today, I gotta go work.
Okay.
I come in and I'm happy about it, and I'm excited to do that, and I think with the beer program and the wine program, the way we run it, that just lends this element of excitement to it all the time. It's like every week I get my fresh sheets from all the breweries in Seattle, and I'm like, oh, what are we going to get this week? And if you come in the door, I'm like, oh, hey, like, have you tried a fan of beer? Have you tried this beer? Have you tried that? Oh, I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited about that. And that brings a really fun element to what we're doing. So aside from the fact that the food is consistent and straightforward, those elements are ever changing and kind of bring a fun piece to it. I know that a lot of people on Vashon are like, oh, you should do this, or you should do that, or we'd really like to see this. Like, that's great, but I think sticking to our guns about serving what we're serving, again, brings some exciting pieces to it, because like every single day, I think that our food gets better and better and better and better and better because it just becomes more and more consistent. You know, I always get inspired when you see those like Japanese chefs that are in like a food stall in the subway station. They've been doing it for 60 years, making one thing like over and over and over again, and now they're considered to be like a master of tempura or whatever.
Fat noodle. Right?
Yeah, and that is so cool to me. You know, so the idea of expanding the menu doesn't really like excite me, because I am more excited about doing what we do better and better and better. And you know, those percentages get smaller and smaller and smaller, but
that's where, you know, God's in the details there.
Yeah. So, and it also, again, it gives us the opportunity to kind of do the fun stuff, like we did the poke pop-up, and like spread our wings a little bit and have some fun in that regard. So
that's great.
Yeah.
Cool. Adam, anything else coming up? Anything in the future you want to promote? Anything you want to let people know
we're just
about?
excited about Strawberry Fest. We're going to have the beer garden out there again. Also, our art on our wall is going to change over. A fantastic photographer got a grant from the VCA to do a portrait project with some third graders and their elder pen pals that they worked with during the year.
Awesome.
So we're going to have 75 portraits of third graders and their elder pen pals on the wall for a couple of months.
That's awesome.
And it's going to be really fun. Come check that out and see the work that was done and the relationships that were built in the community between the young kids and the elders on the island.
Love that.
So that's fun. That's going to be up on First Friday next week.
Awesome.
So
it's great.
Yeah.
And not open Sunday or Strawberry Festival.
Oh, for Strawberry Festival, we will be open on Sunday, but we're just going to do the poke pop-up again. There are a lot of people that missed out, and it'll give everybody a little bit of excitement for that last few hours of the streets being closed and stuff. So
great.
Yeah. Poke pop-up from 12 until it's gone. Last time we were here for about 3 or 4 hours. So
love it.
That's what we're going to do this time.
Awesome, dude. Cool. All right, man. Thanks for taking the time.
My pleasure. Thank you.